All right, let's know those that are joining. As soon as you are joining, you can just drop your details so that I can know those that are joining me. We only have just 1 hour for this revision. Once it is 9 minutes past 10, we'll stop this class. Then we believe with that, you should be okay for the class. Just waiting for you to join the class. Okay, let me see. I can see Folakemi Aliyat. I can see Rofia Abiodun. I can see Adelabi Oluwadamilola. I can see Paul Oluwamayowa. So I'm still waiting for others. So I'm waiting for others to join. All right, I can see Ayola Olamide, Monsurat Wuraola, Olasiji Kudus, Sholuade Alimat, Eze Miracle, Olóyìpé Adijat, Ṣodípé Ọmọ́tóyọ̀sí. Ṣodípé Ọmọ́tóyọ̀sí. So I'm waiting for others. As soon as you join, just try to please put your name. I can see Kasali Abdulbasit. Amakiri Shidima, Akande Fawaz. Just drop your name. As soon as you are joining the class, just drop your name. Babatunde Precious. Salako Miriam, you welcome. Abimbola Idayat, you welcome. Amosa Sherifat, welcome. Babatunde Precious, you welcome. You are all welcome, 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 welcome. Like I said, we just have an hour. Onome Joy, Onome Joy, you welcome. Onome Joy, you are welcome. Yusuf Aisha, you are welcome. Miriam Abdulatif, you are welcome. Yunusa Tawakali too, you are welcome. Abdul Kabir Rafiat, Ngozi Lekeleshi, you are welcome. You welcome. Mogaji Adijat, welcome. Onipede Elizabeth, you are welcome. Please call the others that they should join the revision class. Nojimuddin Tijani, you welcome. Adigun Olajide, you welcome. Ope Odu Boluwatife, Latif Sofiat, you are welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm waiting for you. Once you are up to expected number, we kickstart. Once we are up to expected number, we kickstart. Adebowale Adeshewa, you are welcome. Bensi Kelvin, Giwa Aderoju, you are welcome. Ajiferuke Kafidat Adeola, you are welcome. Latif Rofiat, you are welcome. You are all welcome, 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 welcome. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. All right, okay. So I can see Giwa Aderoju, Taiwo Damilola, Adejobi, Kayode, Lawal, Saka, Adeyemo, Kolapo. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. So I still waiting for others to join. Still waiting for. Still waiting for others to join. I'm still waiting for others to join. Ajayi Mariam, Ope Oduboluwatife, Efe, Liliana, Olaniyi Fetia, Obadara Isaac, Atetibi Mariam, Abidoye Nofisat. So let's start without wasting much of our time, without waiting for others. Adefuye, Roymot. So without wasting much of our time, and just like I've said before, I'll just quickly run you through the outline of the course or of the class. Let me say outline of the class without wasting much of our time. Let me just run you through the outline of the class. In the class, we talk about introduction to statistics. Then thereafter, we move to descriptive statistics and inferential statistics, which are the two major types of statistics. Then thereafter, we move on to major concepts and notation in statistics. That's where we talk about the reason, and thereafter we talk about reasons for studying inferential statistics. Then thereafter we move on to the scale of measurement. We move on to parametric and non-parametric tests. We move on to test of relationship, and I said there are basically two types of test of relationship that we'll treat in the class, which is Pearson product movement correlation. And then we also look at the Spearman ranking order correlation. Then we move on to test of difference. Under the test of difference, we look at we look at t-test, we look at analysis of variance, then we look at non-parametric test of difference. That's where we look at chi-square and the other. Then after that, we move on to computer application in statistic analysis. So, and of course, the last thing that I said we'll be doing about the class is the revision, and which is what we are doing now. So without wasting much of our time, if you can hear me clearly, can you say yes in the chat? If you can hear me clearly, can you say yes in the chat? If you can hear me clearly, can you say yes in the chat? If you can hear me clearly, can you say yes in the chat? I'm talking about the yes in the chat on the YouTube. Just say yes if you can hear me clearly. Thank you. Thank you, Akonde. Thank you, Akonde, and others. Thank you. Once you can hear me, just say yes. Please, if you love any of your friends, tell them to join now. If you love any of your friends, tell them to join now. If you love any of your friends, tell them to join now. Call them to join. So, so without wasting much of our time, I will just run you through some of those things that we have to do here. Of course, when we look at it in the revision question, we look at statistic is descriptive statistic is mainly concerned with dash. And of course, if you remember, I said there are basically two types of statistic. We have descriptive statistic and inferential statistic. So descriptive statistic is mainly concerned with dash. Descriptive statistic is mainly concerned with dash. Descriptive statistic is mainly concerned with dash. It is mainly concerned with testing hypotheses. Descriptive statistic is mainly concerned with it is mainly concerned with collecting, organizing, and presenting data. And that's the definition of descriptive statistic. So descriptive statistic is mainly concerned with collecting, organizing, and presenting data. Then thereafter, we look at questions like, which of the following is an example of descriptive statistic? Of course, if you remember in that place, we give different examples of descriptive statistic. So which of the following, if I may ask, which of the following is an example of descriptive statistic? T-test, chi-square, mean, ANOVA. So when we look at this, descriptive statistic, examples of descriptive statistics are mean, median, and what? And mode. Those are descriptive statistics. So in that option now, the only one that is descriptive statistic there is what? Is mean. So examples, a good examples of descriptive statistics is mean, median, and what? And mode. Okay, look at something like this. We are told that statistic that represent the most frequency occurrence score is called dash. The statistic that represent the most occurrence frequency score is called, the mode. It is called mode. So, and that's why we define the mode as the most occurrent frequency. The most occurrent frequency. Then another question there in the division is the middle value is an ordered distribution, is known as that. The middle value in an ordered distribution is known as that. Middle value. Of course, you know, when we talk about middle value, we are talking about median. So the answer there is what? Is media. Is media. So let's go to the next one. So the next revision question is, which of the following measure indicates the spread of scores in distribution? Which of the following measure indicates the spread of scores in distribution? That is standard deviation. That's standard deviation. So another thing there is that inferential statistics enable researchers to what are the roles of inferential statistics? What is the work of an inferential statistic? An inferential statistic make conclusion and prediction about population. It make conclusion and prediction about population. So inferential statistics enable researchers to make conclusion and prediction about a population. The next thing there is that the focus of inferential statistics is to do dash. What is the focus of inferential statistics? So the main focus of inferential statistics is to generalize from a sample to a population. That's the main focus. That's the main focus of inferential statistics. And the next one is talking about which of the following belong to inferential statistics. Of course, you know those ones that belong to descriptive statistics, and you know those ones that belong to inferential statistics. Now, a question is coming in this form that which of the following belong to inferential statistics? Is it mean? Is it standard deviation? Is it median or chi-square test? Among everything we have there, the only one that belongs to inferential statistics is what? Is chi-square test. Is chi-square test. Is chi-square test. Okay, thank you, Muhammad. I think Muhammad is getting it right. Or should we just call question and we just move on? So another question is, which of the following is another inferential statistic technique? Which of the following is another inferential statistic technique? Which of the following is another inferential statistical technique? Which of the following is another inferential statistic technique? That is analysis of variance. ANOVA. ANOVA is another inferential statistical technique. So analysis of variance. I think I've used that one to answer another question. Because if they ask you what is the full meaning of ANOVA, ANOVA means analysis of variance. So another one is a tentative answer to a research problem is called dash. A tentative answer to a research problem is called dash. It is called assumption. A tentative answer to a research problem is called that. You know, in a research question or in an hypothesis, we talk about the null hypothesis and the what and the alternative hypothesis. So a alternative answer to a research problem is called assumption. It is called an assumption. Yes. Another question is talking about hypothesis now. Another question is talking about hypothesis. Hypothesis. A hypothesis is subject to statistical testing, usually stated in dash. A hypothesis that is subjected to statistical testing is usually stated in dash. It is usually stated in a known form. And that is why I said we have non-hypothesis, then we have alternative hypothesis. The non-hypothesis is always stated in a negative way. They say there is no significant, while the alternative will say there is significant. So an hypothesis is subjected to statistical testing. It's usually stated in a known form. It's usually stated in a known form. Another question there is that the symbol used to represent hypothesis. Okay, let me do it in this way. let me do it in this way. Let me do something in this way. Let me just show you the question so that you know that it is the same question that we are practicing as revision. That's what we are using. So let's move on now. So when we see that revision question 13, when we see that revision question 13, what is that talking about? The revision question 13 was it? The revision question 13 says the significant level is commonly represented by a symbol. Significant level is usually represented by a symbol. That symbol is called alpha. That alpha symbol, that's what we normally use to represent significant level. Significant level is commonly represented by the symbol alpha. So let's move to 14. Revision question 14. Revision question 14. Revision question 14. A significant level of 0.5 indicates a significant level of 0.5. Now, I've explained to you during our class, in our physical class, that in education, we always test an hypothesis as 0.05 level of significance, because we so much believe once you are satisfied, maybe you take a student now and 95% of them pass, you are okay in education. But when you go to medical, it's like when you take 100 students a test and 95 of them pass, they will say that teacher have tried, isn't it? So, but if it is in medical, they always use 0.01, which is 99%. So that means what they were saying is that they can only lose 1% out of 100%. So, but in education, a significant level of 0.705 indicates that a 5% risk of rejecting a true null hypothesis. That's a 5% risk. That's a 5% risk of rejecting a true null hypothesis. That means a significant level of 0.05. Is that taken now? A 5% risk of rejecting a true null hypothesis. That's why they will tell you that it is always tested at 0.05 significant level. So let's move on to 15. The revision question 15 says, the statement that specifies when to reject a null hypothesis is called dash. The statement that specifies when to reject the null hypothesis is called decision rule. It is called decision rule. It is called decision rule. It's called decision rule. If you can hear me clearly, can you type yes in the comment? Eniola, you are saying something is not clear. What is not clear there? Let's know what is not clear. Eniola, you are saying something is not clear. Can we know what is not clear? Eniola, can we know what is not clear? Can we know what is not clear, Eniola? Can we know what is not clear, Eniola? Oh, the screen is not clear. Okay, maybe I will do it in this way. Maybe I will do it in this way. If the screen is not clear, can we do it in this way? Okay, let me reshare that. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? If you can hear me, but I think by now you should be able to hear me now. But I think by now you should be able to hear me now. So you can't hear me. So by now you should hear me. You just have to manage your screen because you are the owner of your device. So the only thing you can do, now is to you have your phone with you. You have your device with you. Just boot the device and you get it clearly. So what number are we? That's your own. That's your own. No, you are on your own. No, you told me what? What number are we? What number are we? What number are we? Can you tell me? Okay, great. Number 16. So we are number 16. Which of the following is an example of decision rule? You remember I told you in a decision rule that when you see a decision rule, it will tell you either you are rejecting or you are accepting. So a good example of a decision rule there is reject the null hypothesis if the z is greater than 1.645. So the only one that is looking like an example of a decision rule there is what? Is reject the null hypothesis if z is greater than 1.0645. So that's that. 17. Rejecting a true null hypothesis is referred to as, you remember type 1 error and type 2 error. That was the first thing we did in the class. Type 1 error and type 2 error. So rejecting a true null hypothesis is referred to as type 1 error. Rejecting a true null hypothesis is referring to as what? Type 1 error. It's referring to as type 1 error. Now let's look at this one, number 18. Type 1 error is denoted by dash. Type 1 error is denoted by dash. Type 1 error is denoted by dash. It's denoted by alpha. It's denoted by alpha sign. That's it. Type 1 error is denoted by alpha sign. So let's move on to number 19. A type 2 error occur when a researcher failed to reject a false null hypothesis. A type 2 error occur when a researcher type 2 error occur when a researcher failed to reject a false null hypothesis. A type 2 error occur when a researcher failed to reject a false null hypothesis. That's a type 2 error. Now, number 20. Type 2 error is represented by which symbol? Type 2 error is represented by which symbol? If type 1 error is denoted by alpha, what would type 2 be? Great. Type 2 error is represented by beta. Type 1 error is represented by alpha. Why type 2 error is represented by what? By beta. It's represented by what? By beta. If you are getting it, can you type yes? If you are still with me, can you type yes? If you are still with me, can you type yes? Okay, thank you, Joy. Okay. So what number are we? What number are we? What number are we? What number? What number? We are on what number? I'm still here with you. I don't know why people are going. I don't know why you are going. So 21. Thank you, Ayomide. So we are on 21. Inferential statistic assist counselor to do what? Inferential statistic assist counselor to do what? It assists counselor to interpret psychological test data. That's what I told you, that the main reason why we are doing inferential statistics is to what? Is for you as a counselor to be able to interpret your psychological test data. Whatever test you get, whether academic test or whatever test you get, or psychological test, the ability to be able to, to interpret that test, that is what inferential statistics is all about. So 22. So 22. 22. Which of the following is an application of inferential statistics in counseling? Which of the following is an example of that? So it's processing client information through inventories. Processing client information through inventory. So number 23. ANOVA is an acronym for what? Is an acronym for, I've said that earlier, acronym for analysis of what? Variance. And of course, 24 is the cheapest one. SPSS stands for what? That's Statistical Package for Social Sciences. So, what number are we now? What number are we? Can you tell me in the comment section? What number are we? What number are we? What number are we? 25. Thank you, Olani. 25. Can we go to 25? 25. One major uses of SPSS is what? One major uses of SPSS is programming mobile application. One major use of SPSS is programming mobile application. B, data management and statistical analysis. C, designing website. D, preparing engineering drawing. Which one is the major uses of SPSS? Great. The answer is B, data management and statistical analysis. Data management and statistical analysis. So 26. Which of the following can be performed using SPSS? Data entry and cleaning. So the answer there is data entry and cleaning. Construction of building. You cannot use SPSS to control video, and you cannot use SPSS editing movies. You cannot use SPSS designing aircraft. You can only use SPSS to do what? To do data entry and cleaning. 27. Which of the following descriptive statistics can be generated using SPSS? Which of the following descriptive statistics? Which of the following descriptive statistics can be generated using SPSS? Which of them? Mean and standard deviation. Which of them? So that is mean and standard deviation. 28. Which of the following inferential statistics can be carried out in SPSS? I told you some of those things we can use SPSS to do. So we can use SPSS to do what? Correlation analysis and regression analysis. So the final one is 29 and 30 now. Which statistical techniques in SPSS is commonly used to determine reliability of an instrument? I've told you that those in 400 level, the only thing they will tell them immediately they design their instrument, they will ask them to go and look for the reliability of that questionnaire. Reliability of that questionnaire. So the statistical techniques is that we commonly use to determine the reliability of an instrument is Cronbach alpha. And finally, that is the last practice question there, which is number 30, is one major advantage of SPSS is that it handles large data sets efficiently and produce accurate output. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the practice objective questions I want to share with you. So, can we have questions? If you have any question now, can you drop your questions in the comment section? Then before we go to the theory practice question, drop your question in the comment section. Drop your question in the comment section. Olaogun, Ramota Layi Adepeju, we are seeing you. Olabisi Suzanne, can you drop your question in the comment section? What is mean, sir? What is mean? You to answer yourself now. What is mean? What is mean? Okay, kindly emphasize on Cronbach alpha. Yes, I said Cronbach alpha. I talk about Cronbach alpha. Cronbach alpha is the statistical tools that we commonly use to determine the reliability of an instrument. That is, when you are given an instrument An instrument simply means questionnaire. And you want to know if that instrument is reliable. You want to know if the instrument is reliable, you can do the reliability, find the reliability index of that instrument. So Cronbach Shava is a statistical technique in SPSS that we commonly use to determine the reliability of what? Of an instrument. Any other question? Okay, I think I've answered that. I didn't ask you to put any number here. I didn't ask you to put any number because I've started seeing some over-sabi people. Here it's not for just attendance, it's just for you to have a better understanding of what you are doing. No one is after your attendance. So can we go to theory practice question? Let me go to the theory practice question. Let me go to the theory practice question. Let's go to the theory practice question. Let's go to the theory practice question. I'm just looking for that. But before then, if you have any question, let me know. If you have any question, let me know. If you have any question, you can drop your question in the comment section. Let me see. If you have any practice question, let me know. If you have any question on that, can I know? Please, sir, what is variance and standard deviation? What is variance and standard deviation? Are you talking about the formula or the meaning? Can you clarify your question? Are you talking about the question? Are you talking about, let me know the one you are referring to. Let us know the one you are referring to. Let us know the one you are referring to. Okay, the formula. Yes, the formula. The formula is in the video now, so you can go and check the video on the variance and standard deviation. Okay, I will check. Let me check and push the formula for you in the comment section. So I'm going to share. I'm going to share a video that talk about the formula here. Variance and standard deviation. Variance and standard deviation. So I will share it with you. So see, so that video is talking about the variance and standard deviation. So you can watch. Just copy the link. I will also put it on the WhatsApp. So this is variance and standard deviation. That's variance and standard deviation. So any other question before we move to the theory? Can you drop your question? Just drop your question. Let me know before we move to the theory question. Drop that and let me know here. If you have any question, you can drop it. So let me go to the theory question. So I'm searching for the theory question. Let me see if I can bring the theory question up. So the practice question. The practice question. Let me just try to share. Let me share the screen because I have less than 10 minutes to spend with you. So after this, just so it's just like if you have been in the class with us since, you definitely know that these are not something difficult at all. So what is type 1 error and what is type 2 error? So define and illustrate with the example. What is type 1 error? What is type 2 error? What is non-hypothesis? What is alternative hypothesis? What is level of significance? But that's not where we are going. But let's see this question number 2. Let's see this question number 2. They said the following scores represent the performance of 50 undergraduate students in an exam. And they now said the initial class interval are below. With this initial class interval, can you generate 3 more class interval? After this, what is the next one? Can you generate the next 3? In the comment, can you generate the next 3 for this class interval? We have 15 to 19, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29. What is the class size? What is the class size? What is the class size? So first tell me, what is the class size? What is the class size? Thank you. Oyelami said class size. And like I said, you can just count your hand. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that means the class size is what? Is 5. So if you have 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29, what is the next 3? Can you tell me the next 3? In the comment section, can you tell me the next 3? The next 3 in the comment section. Thank you. Can we have another person? Can we have another person? Can we have another person? I'm waiting for you in the comment section. Oh. So I'm with you. Okay, I can see. I want others to also participate. Give me the next 3. Give me the next 3 in the comment section. I'm still waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. Just put it in the class. Someone is no. What I'm saying is that we have seen this. We can see this now. So we can see this. They said the first one is 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29. Tell me the 3 class interval. Tell me the 3 class interval in the comment. The 3 class interval in the comment. No, I'm with you. I'm just waiting for you in the comment section. Just tell me, okay, I can see 30 to 34, 35 to 39, 40 to 44. So as it is now, what did the question say? What did the question say? The question says construct a frequency distribution table using the group data to determine the mean, median, mode, variance, and standard deviation. So that means in this place now, you have to first of all look for your class interval. You need to look for your class interval. As we have this now, can we get our class interval on this? Can we quickly get our class interval on this? I know some people have already worked on it, so you know how to go about that. So once you get your class interval, you need to wait there and get your frequency, which is F. So get your frequency from there, you move ahead and get your what? Your midpoint, which is going to serve as your X value. Your midpoint is by adding these two together, 15 plus 19, and dividing by 2. We have done all this before. So once you get that, you multiply the F and X together to give you Fs. Then you add this to get your solution, Fs. And you divide everything by the total numbers of the frequency. So that's how you get your median. That's how you get your mean. Then you move on to get your median. So let me just try to see if I can see a video on that. I'll drop it in the comment section to solve this question number 1, so that you know what we are doing. So I'm going to drop that now. So to solve the mean median mode, in case you don't know how to do that, so you quickly do that now. Solve that. So I'm going to quickly take you to that. Okay. So let me do this. That's that on the mean median mode. So I'm sorry. So that's the median mode. So can we take it away from there and move to the next one? This one is talking about rank the data. It said a counselor seeks to determine whether study time is associated with the test performance among students. You have seen the study hour and you have seen the test score. You have to rank the data. Someone is asking me the other time that how do you rank? How do you rank? You do your ranking from the highest number. As we have it now, what is the highest number in the study hours? The highest number in the study hours, that is 6. You see that the 6 is the highest. So that means both the 6, we have 2 6 there. So it will be having 1 and 2. And there's no way you want to have, you want to give someone first position and give the other person second position. So that means both of them they are first position. So that means 6 is 1, 6 6, the second 6 is also worth 1. So there won't be second position. There won't be second position. We now have third position, which is going to be 5, 5. So the third position will also be 5 and 5. So there won't be a fourth position. We now move to the fifth position. That means the fourth here is the fifth position. So likewise, I will also share a view on that. It's talking about rank the data, accounting and calculating for type rank, then compute Spearman rank correlation coefficient. So I'm going to put a video on Spearman rank correlation coefficient. I think we are resolving this one after the other. So let me come back to the comment section to also see that nothing is breaking. My own internet is working fine. And I also have another device I'm using to monitor what I'm doing here. So nothing is wrong with the device. Probably you check your own internet. Try and check your own internet. Spearman ranking. I'm looking for the ranking. So Spearman ranking. So I'm going to share a video on so that so when you check the comment section, I'll give you a video on Spearman ranking. You can talk to the video and do anything. If you have any question, you can come back here and drop the questions here. So that is for Spearman ranking. So that is that. I can see people. Okay, so let's move on. We'll move on away from the move on to chi-square. So I'm moving on to the question that has to do with chi-square. They said the researcher encountering psychology wishes to investigate together students college admission associated with gender. The following data were collected from 180 students. You can see real. So state the hypothesis. Yes, I think here there is need for you to know how to state an hypothesis. So there is need for you to know how to state an hypothesis. And I said to state an hypothesis, you state an hypothesis either in word, it's always stated in null hypothesis form. So you state it in a null hypothesis. So I'm going to give you a typical example of this one now. For this one now, we have the hypothesis. So I'll show you an example in the comment section. Before I talk about it, because it's something. I know some people will be wondering that which one is state hypothesis. We did that. That was the first thing we do in the class. So when we look at it, like I said, there is null hypothesis, there is also alternative hypothesis. So you are going to state the two. So you state the null hypothesis. So the null hypothesis for this, check the comment section to see the null hypothesis. Once you put the null hypothesis, there is no issue with that. So the null hypothesis for this question you are seeing now, there is no significant association between the student college affiliation and gender. Can you see that? Because the question says, a researcher in counseling psychology wishes to investigate whether student college affiliation is associated with gender. So in stating the hypothesis, it means in stating the hypothesis is there is no significant association between the student college affiliation and gender. That's the hypothesis. So I'll put that in the comment section. So I think that is practice question. People have started running away, but no problem. Those who can listen, they will listen and get. So this is practice question. This practice question 4A. So it's very important. So as I promised that by 9:10, I'm going to leave because I know you still have many other things to do. So just try to lay your hands on all the practice questions. Like I said, I also drop a videos on this chi-square as well. So that'll be the last thing I'm going to do. Then others, just take your time and practice all the questions. I wish you best of luck. If you are still here and you still have one question or the other, you can drop the questions in the comment. I'll be here for the next 10 minutes to attend to all your questions. I'll be here for the next 10 minutes to attend to all your questions. So if you have any question, just drop your question, chi-square. Just go to the comment section. If you have any question, just drop your question. If you have question here, just drop your question. This is on chi-square. This is on chi-square. So this is on chi-square. Are you sure? I hope I did not mute my mic. My mic is on. I can hear you very well. So if you have any question, just drop the question. So that's for chi-square. What else do we have there? So independent t-test as well. I've shared a video on independent t-test with you. So just work on those things and I wish you best of luck. So I'll be here for the next 10 minutes. If you have any question, just drop the question for me here and let's look at it together. If you have any question, drop the question now. You have the next 10 minutes to ask your question if you have any question. So I wish all of you best of luck. Just practice those things that we have practiced this evening. And I wish all of you best of luck. So if you have any question, just drop your question. Yes, Oyelami, Taiwo, you are saying chi-square. Do you have any question on chi-square? If you have any question on chi-square, can we have it? Or you have any questions at all? If you have any question, the network was bad during the explanation. Which of the explanation? Please make live video what we can rewatch. Of course, you will have access to this video. You can come back to watch this video again. So if you have any question on it, you can come back and watch. If you have any questions, just let me know. So without any questions, so I wish all of you best of luck. You can go ahead and rewatch and watch again. So I wish all of you best of luck. So best of luck to you all, and looking forward to see a very perfect Spearman ranking. You can see the video of Spearman ranking there. We have to show workings or on a statement for question. Yes, you have to. So best of luck to all of you.